We are Mike and Taylor, and these are our dogs, Penny and Lucy. 4 years ago, we sold our home and everything we owned, moved onto a 40-foot boat, and sailed from Seattle. This is the story of us making our way. Welcome back, friends. 1 week ago, we sailed from Colombia to Puerto Rico, landing on the southwest corner of the island. After resting from our passage across the Caribbean Sea, we have just moved ourselves eastward along the southern coast of Puerto Rico and arrived at the city of Ponce with our buddies on SV Jubal. Our mission here is to prepare Via and her crew for a sail to the Bahamas. But first, we obviously need to get Mike and Kyle a milkshake. And of course, check out the city. But before we go to dinner, we have to make a milkshake stop for the boys. How is it?
Very good.
How does it rate?
9.
Is it good? How does it rate?
That's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Too chunky. It's not icy.
Not too chunky?
I think this could be slightly creamier. Good flavor. It's like homemade ice cream.
Ooh, yeah.
It's pretty good. Little chocolate sauce. They were making the ice cream while we were there.
It's cold.
Shall we to the brewery?
Are you happy with your milkshake?
Yeah, one more sip. Not too shabby, huh?
I like the vines on them. Alright, so downtown is a little bit sleepy, so we're back on the waterfront and we're gonna try this taco place.
The cocktails menu. This one is for the food.
20 minutes later.
I'm waiting $10.01.
We have dared Mike to take a hot sauce shot with a
Keeps getting lower.
corn tickleback. What are they willing to pay?
Put it in your mouth. Yeah.
I'm willing to pay $0, but a lot of attention.
You only get to see him take it if you subscribe to the higher Patreon.
Please meet our new marketing manager, Kyle from Boo Boo. Okay, Mike, it's all you for the YouTube.
It smells like he's gonna take it and then we're gonna have to go home.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. Thing's been all over the table. That's not, this is much scarier to me
Then the hot sauce.
Yeah.
All of the germs on this will neutralize whatever's in there.
It's a perfect
I don't
balance.
think that's how it works.
So, you'll have to stick around to the end of the episode to see if Mike accepts the dare. For now, we had a lot of errands to run, so we rented a car and headed into town. Well, today has been quite an adventure. It's 1:15. We left the house at 8:30 in the morning to try to get a piece of paper signed by a vet somewhere in this town that basically says that they're up to date on their vaccines and they don't have any hideous diseases and are safe to travel to the Bahamas. Apparently this town is very short on vets because it's just like basically walk-ins. That's all you can do. All the places are all booked out, but they say that we keep, some appointments for walk-ins. And this morning we showed up at 9 a.m. Doors open at 9 a.m. There was already a line around the block at one of the vets. Put her name on the piece of paper, and she basically was like, if you guys want to go get breakfast, if you want to go hang out, we can call you when you're ready because it's going to be several hours of waiting. And so we were like, you know what? let's zoom across town while we've got this several hours of waiting and see if we can do a walk-in at another vet and see what their wait times are like. It just took a really long time, but we finally got in and got the girls to see somebody, and they did a quick test. And it turns out that Lucy has like one hookworm egg. She was like, I barely even saw it, but I saw it, so I can't sign the form until it's negative.
I hate people with integrity.
Integrity. So, Penny's cleared to travel to the Bahamas, but they're both going to go on a 3-day dewormer, and we were supposed to be leaving this city and getting to our staging area on Friday morning, but now we have to come back here on Friday morning and have her get tested again. The vet was like, I'm very confident it will be negative by Friday morning, but I have to see that it's negative. So here we are. We spent just 3 hours in PetSmart here. We got some medicine for Lucy, so it's good. Anyway, she obviously needs that cleared up, but it's just been, we have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting all afternoon. It's 1:15. We're finally on our way back. And then we got to make the most of this rental car, so we have to go do a provision today. So we're going to go drop the kids off and pick our friends up and go to Walmart to get some things.
Busy.
Yeah, wow. What a day.
First time driving in about 10 months though.
Yeah. This is what happens when I put Mike in charge of cheese. We have enough cheese, I think. After our to-do list and our cheese supply was mostly taken care of, it was time for some health food with friends before we headed to the extremely remote southern Bahamas.
So I brought a poop sample back to the vet yesterday morning for Lucy. Came back clear. We got certificates signed for the Bahamas for both of us. So, and we got our like our import application or whatever from the Bahamian government. So we're good to go to the Bahamas. We're just waiting for a good weather window. This is our last day in Ponce. Got the girls on the beach. And yeah, tomorrow we're gonna jump just to the other end of the island, back I think to Boca Raton, which is where we first pulled into Puerto Rico. It's a good place to leave from. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to leave our friends Kyle and Leah on Jubal. We're gonna be alone again. This is a bummer. Let's go, babe. Come here.
So today is a sad day. It's a little bit exciting because tomorrow we go and we stage for a jump to the Bahamas, and the Bahamas is going to be awesome, and that's exciting and all that, la la la. But here's why it's sad. We are saying goodbye to both the last of this group that we've been traveling with for the last, like, I don't know, billion years. And not only the last of the group, but like the best of the group, like our best friends that we've made cruising.
Some of the best friends we made ever.
Some of the best friends we made ever, actually, like as grown-ups. Like, wow, it's gonna be a long night. They are going. Mike's making drinks. We're going over to their house right now to have some cocktails, and we're going to go out to dinner, but they're going back down the Caribbean chain, and they're going to hide out in Grenada, and then they're going to cross the Pacific and do all sorts of wonderful things.
I gotta drink away my sorrow.
And we are obviously going north to the Bahamas, and we are going to do hurricane season in the States, and we don't really know what's in our future after that. And so I think all four of us have been trying to not really think about this too much, but here it is. It's arrived. The day is here. It's our last day with our really good friends on Jubal. So we're making a cocktail. We're gonna go over to their boat and do a little cocktail hour. We have another boat in the Anchorage here who is from the same town that they are actually from in Canada. So they're gonna meet each other, and we're all gonna have some cocktails, and it's gonna be awesome. And then we're gonna go out and have some tacos, and I don't know, probably not be out too late because both of us are trying to get a really early start tomorrow morning. But yeah, this is it. So.
I don't think it's hit me. Now that we're splitting off from them, I don't think it's hasn't sunk in. But it's a real bummer. Especially like, I mean, that's really like sad leaving these guys in particular, because they have like, yeah, they're like some of the best people we've ever met. Like we just get along super well. But I think also it's sad because like we're splitting off, and we're gonna be completely alone again.
This is
like
it.
We don't know. I think we know one boat in the Bahamas. I think they're leaving now.
We know a couple, but yeah.
So that's how it is, though.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah, end of an era.
We ended up doing an Irish goodbye with everybody else.
We should just pick up anchor and leave. Right
I
now.
honestly thought about it when I was in the shower tonight. I was like, what if we just fucking left and just didn't have to deal with this? We accidentally Irish goodbye like the rest of this group of like 10 other boats, just because we ended up having to like move our departure up so fast, and the last like 24 hours before we left Cartagena was just, I mean, it was just nuts with the stuff that we were trying to get done. And then we like fell asleep that night, and we woke up the next morning and we had to go. And so in some ways it was like way easier because we didn't have to do the goodbyes, but tonight we're gonna do them. It's gonna be a sad one, but it's gonna be a fun one too. I'm gonna stop crying now, and I'm gonna go have some cocktails with my friends. We first met Leah and Kyle on Catalina Island after we had both sailed separately from the Pacific Northwest down to Los Angeles. We did the Baja Haha rally together in 2021. We celebrated our landing in Mexico and my 36th birthday together in Cabo San Lucas, and then made our way through Mexico as our group continued to grow. Together, we sailed Costa Rica. We staged for the Panama Canal. We traveled to the US to attend the Annapolis Boat Show. And then we spent nearly every single day together for months on end in the San Blas Islands and in Cartagena, Colombia. Neil, what are you doing? No! Busted! They say that in this lifestyle, your highs and your lows become incredibly extreme. And it's true. And when you face your highest highs and your lowest lows alongside someone for years on end, saying goodbye is incredibly difficult, and without a doubt, the worst part of this nomadic life at sea. Just say goodbye to our friends, and it doesn't really feel real. It feels really hard. It's just the shittiest part of this lifestyle. It's just meeting amazing people and then saying goodbye to them indefinitely. After a terribly hard goodbye, the next morning we both picked up anchor and we pointed our bows in opposite directions. And we had a somber sail back to the Bay of Boquerón to make last-minute preps for our jump to the Bahamas. the last of our large group now gone, we were on our own again. A feeling we really hadn't experienced since our left turn out of Seattle, many years and nearly 10,000 nautical miles ago. So we were all ready to go this morning to leave to the Bahamas, and woke up really early. Everything is ready and food prepped and ready to go. And we turned on the engine to pick up anchor and go, and the engine just sounded weird. It was making some sounds it's made before, but it was also making that have been questionable. But it was also making kind of a new collection of sounds, and Mike suspects it is the alternator bearings, so that's sort of bad news. I think we are delaying our departure until tomorrow at least, so that we can get this addressed, mostly because this is a long passage. This is like, depending on where we go, it's like 4 or 5 days at sea, and you want your engine just in case. And we'll be weaving in around, Bahama reefs and shallow parts, so it's really important. And then it's really difficult to get stuff and parts and stuff in the Bahamas. I'm trying to get out of the sun. So much of the Bahamas is like really remote or just not very well, stocked. Like getting stuff like this is tough. So we're definitely in a better place to deal with it here than we are there. So
Alright, so since there's an alternator shop like a 13-minute drive away, that I'm just gonna bring the alternator in and hope that they can replace the bearings today. If not, then maybe I'll just try to do see if they maybe have the right bearings in stock, so at least we'll have spares again, or know we have the right ones. So anyway, we're not getting out of here today either way, so maybe we'll give it a try. Alright, so I got a ride to this auto place, and they're doing it right now. So fingers crossed. I think the bearings should, hopefully they have the tools to press them in, and then he's gonna maybe replace the brushes if he has them, so that'll be nice too. But
So Mike has been running around with the alternator, trying to get it to a shop, get it fixed, and he just informed me that it's fixed and he's on his way back, and that's really great news. I've just been hanging out here feeling a little anxious. I'm like not really sure what, how this is gonna all unfold, and a little too distracted to try to take on any work or anything. So I made a cake and just kind of hanging out, but Mike just said it's all good. The thing got fixed. He's on his way back. So we're gonna pop it in to the engine as soon as he gets here and just make sure that it works and it's all good. And then we should be on plan to leave in the morning. For me? Oh, you shouldn't have.
yeah, I got you a new old alternator.
Awesome.
Totally quiet.
Wow, that's better.
So yeah, that's better. Alright, we'll put her back in.
The next morning, we turned on the engine. We picked up the hook and we headed out for what we expected to be our first downwind sail since Pacific Mexico.
About an hour out of Puerto Rico and the engine is off. And so far it's beautiful. We've got 9 to 10 knots of wind doing like 6 over ground. It's gorgeous.
But our champagne sail didn't last long. We were entering the Mona Passage.
Our beautiful sail has turned a little sporty. It's just real gusty. Like the seas build to the gust, it seems. So like we got some pretty big waves that won't show up on camera, but they're steep. And we're going upwind. So the wind's a little more out of the north than forecast, and so we're moving fast, but we've got 2 reefs in the main, the staysail up, and just a scrap of Genoa, and we're still making like 6, 7, sometimes 7.5 knots. But it's not very comfortable, and the dogs are miserable. I think the wind's supposed to drop later on this evening, and as we get a little farther ahead, we can bear off just a little bit, and maybe the wind will actually come from the forecast direction a little more, and that would really, really help. But for now, it's just not very fun.
The Mona Passage is the body of water that separates the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and it carries a reputation.
Looks real nice in the camera.
Strong currents, extreme underwater geography with steep drop-offs and shallow banks, combined with the tunneling effect of the trade winds that accelerate between the 2 landmasses, make this stretch of ocean pretty rough and unpredictable. Even though our forecast was good and the wind never got terribly strong, the seas built enough to make the whole crew seasick. And what we hoped would be a nice downwind sail was actually kind of a bash that made our apparent wind soar on the gusts and heeled us far over, turning it into a bit of a rodeo of a ride. But by sundown, we were out of the heart of the Mona Passage. The wind stabilized, the seas mellowed, and we settled in for our first night of 4 on our voyage to the Bahamas, which is all coming your way next time. The ante has been upped.
That needed this time. That's like $4.
All right, what do we have in the pile? Leah and I cleaned out our purses. We have cat food. We have 1 heavily used bobby pin. We've got 1 safety pin. We've got 1 napkin tablet. We've got 1 piece of lint. Thank you, Kyle. We've got 1 weird Band-Aid that
Little blister Band-Aid.
Still got the corn. Oh, we got stickers. Oh,
These are actually pretty cool.
That's the most valuable thing in the pile. And then we have 1 billion Colombian pesos. Will you do it? Will you do it?
I don't think they're too bad.
Wow.
Oh, I would have done that for $5.
Well, I'm taking my safety pin back then. And my tab.
Don't forget your corn. You're taking
Take the corn chaser. Wow.
No, I'm not eating the corn. I'm not eating the corn.
That's where we travel on?
Well, I'm not including the lint then.
You can take your,
Why, you're just getting rid of your prize
I'm not
pile.
taking my stuff back.
these
Yeah.
are mine.
No, that wasn't part of the deal. You have to take all that shit off. Yeah. You throw that away in your trash.
Oh, spice comes later.
Wow.
tomorrow, probably. Yeah. I've made a huge mistake.
All it takes was a little bit of pocket lint from Kyle and he was in. Yeah.